on our way to Elora, Ontario to interview psychic Keri. She is a psychic advisor
and a psychic life coach. So she's not just a typical psychic that tells you what's going to happen. She tries to tune into information that will help you, with questions that you have in your life and your career and that sort of thing.
And she's really good at helping people make decisions. And we've both had readings by psychic Keri before, and we've both found that she has been extremely helpful in our journeys in helping us to navigate our way through life.
Including this YouTube channel.
Yes.
She told us we would be doing this when it was really just a thought in our minds. We had thought about it, but we hadn't kind of got it up and running yet. Mm-hmm. And she actually tuned into that, so that's kind of neat.
And it will be interesting to see what she sees coming of this channel, or if she picks up on anything in our reading today.
Yeah, so it should be good. So here we are with psychic Keri.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for being here.
Keri has been our psychic advisor in the past, and her readings have been absolutely life-changing for me and for Karen. And as we mentioned in the car, you had actually foreseen this YouTube channel manifesting,
right.
in our readings in the past, that we were going to be working together. So we had to have you.
Yeah, of course.
So thank you again.
Yeah.
And we'd love to ask you a few questions if that's
Absolutely.
good. All right.
Yeah.
So can you please tell me how you got started?
All right. So it may not be an expected traditional start. However, I'm going to say my whole life I'll do this, psychic. Because, just psychic things would always happen. And a lot of family members that I have are psychic. They've never done it as a profession, but we've all kind of just claimed ourselves as a family, a lot of family members, as just psychic. And you wouldn't know when it would happen, just you'd have premonitions or this, that, the other would happen. Just a lot of unexplainable things, I guess. And just that deep knowing of other people. Like with me, it was more when I would meet somebody, I would say, oh, hi, what's your name? And before you would say it, I might have your name, or I might say, oh, do you have kids? And before you answer, it was always when I would ask somebody a question, the answer would come to me before they answered in a lot of situations, but I never understood how to control it. Like I didn't know, it would only happen sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, it was a journey, we'll say. So I was always a little bit psychic, couldn't control it, didn't understand how to tap in. I'd love to say that it was through psychic development and courses and, just different mediumship courses or anything like that. It wasn't. I believe I had an awakening. It came so clear to me that this is a gift I have and I'm supposed to help people with it. And I knew right then and there, on the spot, how to tap in and read somebody's energy. I was able right away. So it was in an instant almost, like a lot of things leading up to it. However, it felt like in an instant where it was so clear. It came to me in such a clear way that I'm going to help people and I'm going to understand how to tap into their energy. And I've struggled with tapping out, but I think I have it pretty good. But so it was just, if I'm going to sum it up in language, a spiritual awakening.
And how long have you been formally doing psychic readings?
So professionally, I'm going to say just over 5 years. I had a cat boarding facility, so a cat hotel.
Oh.
And you didn't know that?
No.
Oh, yeah. In Hamilton, I owned a luxury cat boarding facility, so the kitties would stay with me while their parents were on vacation, and it was gorgeous, and it was a true passion of mine. But I did realize I closed up shop because I knew I had to do this full time. I started doing it, part-time or casually, and when it grew, and word of mouth and all that. I just knew this was what I need to be.
So, what is a psychic advisor?
So an advisor, so I refer to myself as a psychic advisor, because on top of tapping in, right, and providing information, so in a session you'll get information. I kind of jump, as you guys know, here, there, and everywhere. We might be talking about work or relationships or animals, whatever kind of pops up, I go with it. So I just let the information flowing in lead the reading. However, I use the term advisor because I always try to pass along information and guidance and advice based on the situation that's coming up. So and I love it because it's very individualized. So what's going to work for Dawn or what's going to work for you? So maybe there's a challenge that comes up, and I can see what would work for you.
But you often help us kind of, when we're in that fork of the road, you can actually see which one is in our best interest.
Yeah, and I have that ability to, in a lot of situations, I can't say all of them, but a lot of situations I have the ability to see down multiple kind of paths, if you will. So, if you choose this, I can foresee at times, if there's any kind of roadblocks in the way there or challenges, and this way give you some insight on this way if you choose to go that way. I would never ever recommend what way somebody goes. Mm-hmm. However, I'll give you the what's coming up for you down each path.
I'm so happy.
And you guys have had readings before.
Plenty. My goodness, yeah.
I haven't. Actually, I've had readings before, but I don't talk to other psychics. I don't know other psychic styles. I don't really know the difference. If I could ask you guys a question, if there is a difference with psychic styles or in your experience.
I've had a lot of psychic readings. I've been doing psychic parties and psychic readings since I was a teen, and a lot into my 20s. And a lot of times they will use some kind of tool, divination tool. Tarot cards is often the most common. You might use tea leaves, but I find that they are more general.
And I think that you get a little more specific.
A lot more specific.
I feel very blessed and sometimes I can't get specific. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I do get the questions like, more details. And what I appreciate with what you're saying with your other experiences is sometimes other people have kept it a little more general, and I believe that's the right thing to do if you aren't receiving the information, right? So I would rather somebody just be general in a sense, like if I was going out to seek a reading or someone, I'd rather it be general than made up, right?
Oh, absolutely.
For sure, right? So I would never go beyond my limitations and my abilities, and if the information's not coming, and that's something I can't necessarily navigate. I can't necessarily, sometimes I'll get with one person, I'll get just details on details about their relationship and maybe nothing about their career. Like, it really depends, and I usually chalk it up to what's on their mind, what's the most powerful energy on their mind, and that's probably why the details are coming out in a certain area, because maybe if they have relationship on the mind, I'm getting more details there. If they have work on the mind, or wherever it goes, right? So I kind of appreciate that from other people if they're not getting that information. My whole MO when I'm doing a reading is the person's best interest and how can they feel better, feel more peace, feel more calmness. Yes, challenges come up in a reading. They just do. We have challenges all sorts throughout our life. We can't kind of avoid them and maybe help them navigate through challenges. But because my focus point is on positivity and getting you vibing in the best way possible, that's where my reading is, or what my reading is based on. I do parties, so I do groups. I have all different kind of party groups. I can do an intimate party, 3-4 people. My typical party would be 5 to 9 people, and especially during COVID right now, it's maxed out at 9 based on the rules as of now. But I've also done larger events. I've done weddings, fundraisers, galas, like just tons of events.
Weddings? Thanks.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's so your guests come, get a reading, and
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
I love that.
definitely, yeah. But more so, my parties are usually at somebody's home or even workspace. So it's amazing. That's like I don't want to pick a favorite thing that I do out of all of it, but I love when I get a party because it just reminds me every time that we're so connected. There's so many similarities with people and their energies. And I do, telephone, and that's been huge right now because, we're all kind of at home. And
How do you deal with skeptics?
my MO when I'm with, let's call them a skeptic, somebody forced their husband to come for a reading or whatnot. And my mission is not to change them into a believer. That's definitely not on my radar whatsoever. I just do what I would do for somebody else open to it, right? It's just information comes, here it is, and you receive it how you receive it. It's not my it's not my mission, so to speak, to formulate your views, right? So.
At one time, I'm sure we all were, and we all had our certain beliefs on
I
things.
definitely was.
Yes.
Oh God, I would never, I described to you the awakening I had. I wouldn't imagine in a million years I'd be doing psychic readings. I had my own, skepticism, but I had my own, I made fun of psychics. I was like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, of course. So I can put myself in a personal experience in that place. I wasn't born spiritual and automatically knowing about psychic abilities and whatnot. So if you don't know, if it's something you don't know, you can't put yourself in that place, right? So of course it comes off, and it's a little unnerving for anything to get somebody being tapped into your energy, right? And knowing maybe too much about you or whatnot. So I was one of those. I'm not going to call it skeptic, but I was like, yeah, that's something. It's one of those things you just don't ever, school doesn't teach you about it. You don't ever think that's an option either. And for the vast majority, it probably isn't an option. However, so it's not, because that's an ability. It's a gift, and so you don't always know what your gifts are going to be at a young age, or even a teenage, or even early adulthood, right? If this happened to me if I was 80 years old, I would still be doing it. I would still go ahead and do it because the knowing that I need to help people, or I want to help people, kind of find balance and calmness. So. I call it psychic life coaching because it's pretty much a coaching session. So it's getting you from A to B and how to move forward in the areas that you'd like to focus on. But a little bit of a bonus there because I'll be tapped in. So again, a lot of life coaching happens in a psychic reading anyway, but what happens is, how are we going to get you from A to B? Let me tap in and see what's going to get you there fastest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just finished with our session with Keri, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great to see her. She is just amazing at what she does. Like I said, I've been to other psychics, but no one compares to her readings. She's really got a special gift.
I haven't been to any other psychics per se, but I don't even feel like I would want to.
No, me neither. Yeah. I will be working towards being more like her in how specific she is with her, with the details of the reading. I would love to be more like that because it is so helpful, where I know my readings are still rather general. So something to work on, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I've always got Keri to refer to.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe.